Codec, round 16.
Greetings from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to not just any day of the GSL, but probably one of the biggest days we'll ever have here, Group B, but it might as well be the Final Four.
Yeah, tasteless. This is the greatest group ever in StarCraft 2 ever. You actually can't.
These are the four best players in the world.
And
they're in one group. We're in round of 16, but we have the four best players playing today.
It's not just the four best players. It is the four best ever in StarCraft 2. The level is so much higher than Wings of Liberty. Think of the most epic day of Wings of Liberty ever. This is miles above that.
Way surpasses that. And we're at the point in time where we're starting to see like near perfection. I would say especially from Innovation and Flash, partying in life, unbelievable. Each of these guys with different play styles. Who the hell is going to get out of this group?
Innovation and Flash look completely unbeatable in TVZ.
They do.
But if there is one human on this planet that can beat them in TVZ, it's Life. You spoiled it. I saw you whisper at the camera. They're like, "Who is it? Is it Party?
Could it be one of the other Zerg players in the group?" No, this is amazing. This is wonderful.
So guys, listen. Get on Twitter.
Yes,
tell everyone
GSL.
Get on
Reddit,
Reddit.
The word.
Upvote.
Yes,
Team Liquid. Everyone needs to be watching this because this is the greatest group of all time. You are actually about to sit through the best StarCraft 2 to date.
If you have friends that don't watch StarCraft 2, now certainly would be a good time to show off the game. You're going to have some pretty good games.
You're going to see something special today.
Some builds will be stolen today.
Oh,
that's for
I
sure.
think that might happen.
I think people will probably copy some of the moves we're going to see here today. If I had to pick, I'm going to say Flash Innovation. How about you?
Flash Innovation.
But that's a hard one. It could be partying life.
No, it could be any
be
two in this group is the beautiful thing about it. Like
yeah.
No one has any idea what's going to happen here except for maybe Flash. Flash has made a career of getting out of groups like this. And
let's do a little bit of history here because we do have a lot of new viewers here from that are joining us now because of Heart of the Swarm. All right, let's start with the easy one. Flash. Flash is the best StarCraft player of all time.
Which
Don't
makes
be confused. It wasn't Slayer's Boxer. It wasn't Savior. Some of these are the names you might have heard thrown around. It was Flash.
It wasn't Jadong. It wasn't Beast. It wasn't Stork.
No, it was Flash. Yeah. And now he's here in StarCraft 2 in a GSL.
To put this out there, StarCraft 1 still the hardest game ever to have been created. So he's actually the greatest gamer of all time. Just throwing that out there. It's true. So we have him. And then let's see. Well, who do you even want to talk about next?
Tell me about Life.
Okay.
Tell them about Life. I know about Life.
Is the youngest champion that we've ever had.
A Royal Rotor.
In fact, I think he beat out for StarCraft championships. If I recall correctly, I might be getting this wrong, though. He beat out Flash's record to become the youngest champion.
Crazy.
Which is just to show you how epic Flash is once again. Life has won basically everything for a while now. Okay, he won MLG, he won GSL. He's won absolutely everything.
And, of course, if we go on to partying, he was last year's world champion.
Yeah, he won.
He won the world.
Something like $150,000 in a month.
I think so. Yeah.
He won the actual BWC.
Best Protoss player.
Yeah.
I think so solid, so perfect.
Look,
he was winning Wings of Liberty against Zerg with the Sentry Immortal pushes. You just could not stop that.
He's so good that he signed with SKT1, which is the #1 team of all time in esports.
Absolutely.
Like when they come and poach you, they're like. I know a lot of people say that EG are the Yankees, and they kind of are, but
the Korean
SKT1
version,
is the Korean version of that.
And then, of course, you got Innovation, who's incredibly interesting because this guy has kind of come out of almost
he was
nowhere.
An extremely good StarCraft 1 Terran, like one of the best, but you couldn't measure him up to Flash.
Now he's here, and we saw this. We said this last season we were casting. This was the best player I'd ever seen play in an RTS game.
Yeah.
It was the most perfect play. He's playing so unbelievably well. And he's got this weird style where he just does just the right amount of damage, then takes all his SCVs and all-ins.
And if you guys
Nobody's doing this, and he keeps doing it every single time, and it works.
If you guys don't believe us, this is the best group, okay? Parting chose Life because he knows he wants to kill Life because he knows Life is the best Zerg. Life is like, well, I'm going to make the group of death if you're going to choose me. And he chose Innovation. Innovation actually said once he was chosen, Once they chose me, it was already the group of death. I was just completing it, so he chose Flash. These 4 all think and know that they are the top 4.
It's
okay.
crazy.
In fact, in the round of 32, we were talking Tases. I said this is the top 4 this season, but now they can't be. Only 2 of them can make it that far.
The 2 guys that come out of this group very well could be the 2 people we have in our finals.
I actually think that's probably going to happen.
Not even
possible. And if it doesn't, it's because they show all their stuff tonight.
Yeah.
That's the only way that's not going to happen, I think.
The world is watching right now. Our first match is going to be Party in a Protoss against Life of Zerg. After that, a TVT with Innovation and Flash.
And this is just absolute madness because anyone here can beat anybody else.
Yeah.
They might have maybe slight edges against each other based upon who's playing who. Like, for instance, Flash overall, generally speaking, has shown better TVT than Innovation slightly. In fact, he is the one that knocked Innovation out of MLG.
Yeah.
At the same time, Life has beat Flash in MLG finals. He's beat him in it more than once in MLG. Parting and Life have gone back and forth quite a bit. They have quite a set of games between them. So there's a lot of different things going on here, Tasteless.
As you guys can see, it is packed in here, more packed than we've ever had it here in Gangnam at Samsung Station here in our new studio. And guys, if you ever do get the chance, come down to the studio. It's amazing. Entry is free.
That's right.
Enough of that. Look at partying over here.
Look at this. Round of 8 advance rate, 75%.
That's pretty good.
That's okay. That's all right. That's a pretty good stat. 3/4 of the time, guys, he makes it the round of 8 in GSL.
Yeah.
Do I even need to underline how hard that is?
His percentages against Terran and Protoss.
Ridiculous,
it was
right?
Insane. All right, now everybody knows here that he's got a lot. Everybody's got a lot of pressure.
Yes. Well, he started it. He started this group.
This is all his fault.
This is his fault. That is right.
Now we got Life over here, which, by the way, versus Terran, he's 90%.
Jesus Christ. Against Protoss, 10-2, and then against Zerg, he's like 7-2, and then some losses against Leenock, who might be the second best Zerg in the world. So that one doesn't even count, guys. This guy has stats like we've never seen.
So good. Oh man. Even with this first round, I have no idea who's going to win.
This rivalry is...
Also keep in mind, Life's lane control, out of control. This guy can harass you so much, it doesn't matter how good your builds are.
Look, Life is like in tune with the game itself when you watch him play Zerg. He plays Zerg unlike anyone else.
Yeah.
A good person to call maybe second best Zerg, Roro. Best mechanical in the world. But Life, he has those mechanics and then something else, something special. He is like, he's part of it, part of the game. It's hard to explain.
No, I feel you, man.
That's exactly what it is. It's a feel.
It is. All right. Now, if you're new to the GSL, or if you're not quite familiar with our format, the winner of this best of 3 goes on to the winner's section of the group. So they're not out of the group. And the loser's also not out of the group yet.
That's
the loser just has to win 2 more best of 3s, whereas the winner only has to win 1 more best of 3. All right, so let's get this going on our map again. Belshire Vestige, a 1-on-1 map. Anything can happen. Any kind of cheese or standard play we're going to see. But one thing we do know for sure is after today, the metagame in Heart of the Swarm will be a little bit more cemented, as everybody's going to be watching, or who have watched the 4 best players in the world duke it out here in the round of 16. We're here in Seoul, Korea, where the best esports players in the world reside. We're here watching the top 4 in the world to see which 2 will move on to the round of 8 here in the GSL Code S. In the upper left, we have our Protoss player, the world champion from last year. He is
SK Telecom T1 Party.
Nerds are going bananas.
Oh my God, they are.
In the bottom right, we have our Zerg player, young but deadly, a Royal Rotor. He is
Starcraft Life.
It is so loud in here. I've never heard it like this.
I feel like it actually sounds like we're in the GSL finals.
Yeah.
Is what it actually sounds like.
There are a huge amount of people here. They've been here a long time as well.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted a good seat. And
I'm peeking over the edge here. We ran out of chairs.
We absolutely somehow ran out of chairs.
Which was never supposed to happen.
Our studio is so much bigger than it used to be.
We're having a chair crisis here in the studio right now. No, it's so full in here, though, for real.
Well, Tasteless.
Yeah.
This is madness. Between Life and Parting, who wins? Tell me.
Dude, I don't know. I think, all right, well, here, let me give you the best predictions I can. Because first of all, the answer is I don't really know either way, but I would say it'll depend a lot on whether or not Life can do damage to Parting early on. Life's very good at harass. He's very good at, eking out damage here and there. But Parting is so unbelievably solid that it's hard to imagine him losing a game unless he's somehow slowed down.
Yeah. It's really hard to say. You know, whenever we see these two fight in particular, they have kind of a budding rivalry. But whenever we see them fight, oh my God,
he still denied that.
I wasn't going to say anything, but holy.
Okay, this is actually getting bad for Life right now. He needs to get that hatchery planted. He doesn't have. Sick!
Oh, he got that down after his Pylon Forge and Nexus. That
unbelievable.
That never
Life
happens.
up to a really bad start right now. A really bad start here as he cannot get his additional hatchery over here. The other logical expansion to take bottom left has already been occupied. This throws a real wrench, into the gears of Life. I almost got that out so eloquently.
Dude.
And now, this means Life has to do something dramatic because, as I said earlier, if you don't slow Parting down, he's probably not going to lose. And now it's even worse because now Parting has slowed Life down.
Yeah.
Look at the minerals here. 450 now. That hatchery should have gone up a long time ago, only now just planted. That
probe dance is the best I've ever seen by like a mile. And best I've ever seen was an amazing one done by Grubby. That was fantastic. Parting is so on top of it today, and he has to be because he started this Tasteless, and he wants to end it with a trip to the round of 8.
Who's going to be the first to get out of this group? I have no idea.
Nobody does.
Nobody knows. Man. Okay, so if this is a race right now, Life is a little bit behind. And actually, the early part of Starcraft essentially is a race. You're both you're in a rush to try to get up every building, every tech structure so that you can make the moves, move your chess pieces, if you will, in that mid-game.
Yep. Now this probe is going to see that there is, in fact, no third base.
Oh, my God, this is another thing. This is another huge thing. To have ambiguity of whether or not the Zerg has 2 bases or 3 is so important. Parting now 2 incredible moves, giving him a slight lead here over Life. And a slight lead in this, it turns to miles.
Oh, yeah. A slight lead is all you need when you're at this level. Even if you're playing other players at this level, it's going to help you out so much. But Life knows every which way he can possibly come back from here. Now look at this, what Parting's doing. A sentry, a Zaw in the wall, a quick mothership core, a second cannon. He's being completely safe. He realizes that he's stalled Life out, he's made Life uncomfortable, and Life didn't take a third base, so he's preparing for any possible cheeses.
All right, he'll push out with the mothership core just to clean up these lings that are outside the base. Probably unnecessary for him to even lose a single ling there.
And now Life has actually seen that there are 2 cannons, that there's a sentry, and there's a mothership core. So he's not going to do an all-in. And in fact, with double Evos going down, I got to ask myself, is this going to be double Evolution Chambered Zerglings into 3-base Ultra?
Could be, actually.
It absolutely
could be. It would be a very doable way, I should say, to deny the third. Because right now we see that Parting going for a starport opening, a Stargate rather, and with that, I mean, look, the Void Rays and the Phoenixes, they can pick up things and take them out, but not against a bunch of links.
No, absolutely not.
Which means it's going to be possible. This is a good kind of plan B here from Life to try to deny Parting from getting outside of his base.
Yeah, and it's a very strong strategy for anyone that watched DreamHack this weekend. It was the strategy of choice. Jaedong, Leenock, 2 of the best Zergs that there are. We're doing this consistently, and both got within top 4. So, it's a strong strat, man. We're going to have to see if he actually chooses to stay with the strat as is, or he has some changes to it, and how does Parting react to this?
Now, Legend pointed out to us that the Lings did not spot the Robo either, so a little bit in the dark here for Life.
Well, he will.
Phoenix moving out. He did not pull the Phoenixes before moving out, telling us that he immediately wants to get scouting done.
Yep.
That's more important to him than the element of surprise in taking out Overlord.
And I think he's right. It's a small change for the small change in the early game, which is the stalling of that natural expansion, the fact that he didn't take a third base.
Yeah.
He may as well exacerbate that economical advantage by forcing extra Overlords or perhaps, you know, making it so that he can't get enough drones because he gets supply blocked.
Yeah. All right, he's going to go ahead and take out this Overlord, doing a little bit more scouting. Creep spread here, by the way. For Life is looking very good. To get this Colossus out, that's going to be really smart. Well, that is just really smart, I should say, as that will be one way to deal with mass lings in order to get the third base.
Well, the Infestation Pit is on the way. It really does look like that strategy we were talking about, Tasteless. The double Evolution Chamber Zerglings in a 3-base Ultra. A very powerful strat, but Parting looks like he kind of knows what's going on. He's going straight into Colossus, something he's definitely going to need to deal with those Zerglings and be able to secure a third base.
Now, if you're going up against somebody who's going mass ultras like this, you want to be really careful to not get too many sentries here, because the sentries essentially become useless once the ultras are out. Guardian Shield not going to help you, really.
No.
And obviously, Force
the damage
just
isn't very good.
Yeah.
They don't tank a lot of damage, do they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it looks like now Party interested in pushing out and acquiring a third base.
And
nice
look at
catch.
That. There's that stalling of the third base you were talking about, Tasteless. You know, it's very hard to move out against this many Zerglings, especially when they have 1-1. And Parting right now, he's still working on his upgrades. He doesn't even have a +1 attack yet.
This is true. And, you know, when you don't have that +1 attack there in a PDZ, it's actually so bad. Protoss always want to have that attack upgrade. That's 2 Zealot hits instead of 3.
But this time it won't even be because he already has a +1 armor.
Yeah.
I mean, it's making +1 not even that useful. In fact, +1 armor would be superior in this situation.
In fact, that's a very good point, Artos, is when you're behind like this armor, as Protoss, armor becomes more important than attack.
Well, we do have the Hive on the way as well as the Macro Hatch. The Ling's running around.
Notice no force fields baited out.
Yeah.
He is not going to budge until he can tell Life's committing to an attack.
That's right. But you know what? Right now, Parting knows what's going on, too. He's flying around with those Phoenixes. He sees exactly what's happening, and he's throwing down that Twilight Council. Very important indeed. Archons, oftentimes, from what we've seen, become a huge part of the defense against this.
Oh, nice cancel.
Oh.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the Life we all know.
Oh, and he got some Lings inside. Not enough to do a lot of damage, but this will be useful.
Yep, enough to get a little bit of an idea of what's going on inside the base.
Yep. Sees that everything is out there, no Templar Archives, but he sees basically the entire tech of Parting, and Parting starting to move out. He's not even trying for that third base again. Look at this. Parting is hitting a little timing attack when there's only Zerglings for his opponents, and he has 2 Colossi.
If Life doesn't handle this perfectly, the game will end. But if Life deflects this attack, well, then we can be pretty confident here that Life's going to have a massive lead, and then Parting will be in a situation he probably can't recover. Oh, there's a Colossus in the open for some reason, but it was a lost opportunity there. He could have actually caught that. Soccer's now being microed back. He's trying to get Parting to turn all the way around.
Yeah, and look at this. Life is just trying to stall him as long as possible. That Ultra's Cavern halfway done. When Ultras are out, he can kill this army. Before then, not so much.
1.6k gas. That's going to be a lot of Ultralisks. But it's very possible that Parting is going to take out the third base here for Life.
And here we go. The Zerglings coming up, but no way they're going to break through this main cells. Hold on, though. A flank incoming. Some beautiful force fields and time orbs. And beautiful lifts. Parting with beautiful control here, controlling this entire battle.
Unbelievable. 2 Colossi remain. The other link's going to be able to try to take out the pylon to stop reinforcements, but there's already another one over here. He needs to get that pylon to buy time, but Parting actually manages to save both of these pylons, it looks like. Excuse me, just one.
Life has lost a lot here, but with 6 Ultras on the way, if he can get those out, he's going to be in good shape. The thing is, his third base might be sniped before then.
He might even want to try targeting down the building here.
I think so. I think a right click on that building is maybe a perfect idea. Taser saves that pylon as well. What a great move by Parting.
I've never seen Parting play so well, to be completely frank. He is handling every single attack perfectly. The Ultras are out, but the third hatchery is gone. Now the question is, will Parting manage to make it back to his base?
Well, that mothership core is gone, so he has to walk all the way. Blink is still on the way. That can help out a lot, but here we go. The Ultra's starting to come up. The Ling's coming as well, tanking a lot of damage, and the Ultra's going to town.
He's hitting and hitting hard, but he's targeting down each Ultra right now. The Blink Stalker micro is impeccable here. He does pull it back, though, and manage to transfuse those Ultras. The Stalkers escape. The rest of the Protoss tech is gone.
That's right. But Life is only on 2 bases. Parting trying to take his third, but with this many Queens out, we may see Life go across the map for a counterattack. The thing is, the creep spread is not all the way up there, so the queens are going to take a while to get up.
All Parting has to do is hold his third base, secure that. He has Immortals being cranked out right now. The upgrade's so very good here for the Zerg.
Here we go, some links coming up. Oh my god, he might get a cancel right here, right now, Tasteless. That is a huge move if he does.
Now he does have Blink, keep in mind, which is very good against Ultras.
Yeah, and in fact, doing some great micros so far. Not enough lings here to really mess up the Blink micro.
He needs to save this Nexus. He cannot afford to lose this Nexus.
Well, he is sending over Colossus, so it looks like he should be able to. In the meantime, keeping these Ultras busy with Mass Blink, but some more lings coming up. And when you get a lot of lings with the Ultras, suddenly the Stalkers don't do so well.
Yep, he's trying to target down these Ultras here. The Colossus is isolated.
Uh-oh. And here we go, the Ultras going down.
Now,
the thing is,
also,
where are his lings?
Bear in mind, if he tries to run away with these Ultras, they can be chased down by the Stalkers. And it looks like that might be happening right now.
There's just so few units up here right now, Tasteless. He has a lot of transfusers, but the queens themselves won't do much damage. And
Ultra's reinforcing right now. The Zerg's gas still pretty abundant. Hitting the queens though now.
Indeed, but those Ultras going up from behind. Can he get something done with that? Oh, I don't know about this. He's taking a lot of damage.
He's gonna get the Nexus.
The Nexus is
the Nexus.
Just go down with the 3 lings barely finishing it off. Meantime, these
that
queens,
actually paid off. It actually paid off. Now he's going to get all these queens, obviously. But, you know, the problem now is that now it's Protoss on 2 bases. Had that Nexus been saved, we'd be in a very different spot. It looks like this may automatically force Parting to now attack again as he needs to start saving ground.
But the thing is, his army not going to be as good against Infestors and Lings and Ultras.
That's
because we have 4 Infestors about to pop out right now. He doesn't have Pathogen Glands, so that is a little bit of an issue. It's going to take a while for Fungal, but when he has Fungal, Blink will not be able to be used.
Oh man, so bad right now here. If Parting doesn't do more damage. Look at the supplies though, 167 here for the Zerg, 145 for the Protoss. That's fairly even for this phase of the game. Looks like they may be passing each other though.
Could this turn into some sort of base trade? No, Life sees him on the creep and does turn around his army so fast in his home territory.
I don't know if Parting should be out this far. I think he actually should turn around. This looks really dangerous.
He is in a dangerous area. Notice how he's staying kind of on the edge of the creep. He wants to be able to get off there if need be, so he's not surrounded so easily.
Parting wants that third base of his to finish. He'll do anything to get that. Oh, he's going for DTs. That's so smart.
Yeah, that's intelligent as
he could actually use these Stalkers to shoot down Overseers, send DTs, and to try to take out that base.
And not just that, Tasteless. With that Mothership Core now with him, he can commit on the third and then warp home.
This is just like my brother Day9 says, win behind Dark Shrine. It's true.
And here we go. So many units coming in, and he has to recall out of there. Way too big an army to actually fight right now.
Yeah.
Well, from here, Tasteless, he's going to have to focus on, you know, some DT harassment, a lot of Immortals, maybe some Archons mixed in there, because this army of his opponent is just too powerful to fight out in the open alone.
All right, there we go.
All right. Well,
the Zerg is almost maxed out. The 4th base halfway done. The Dark Shrine's still not finished yet.
We do have Life taking that 4th base, and that's a very important point because they both secured their 3rds completely right now. We do have a maxed out Zerg, whereas Parting has 150, which is pretty good, but he does have 4 Immortals, and that's a big deal.
All right, he's going to go for the 3rd here. Can Parting save it? It looks like he might have been outpositioned. Oh my god, that was so beautiful there by Life. He got the Ultras right up there, zoned out the army, and now is going to retreat.
And beautiful defense with the DTs as well, forcing those Lings to get out of there before they cleaned up too much. But he's got to be careful. Fungal growth can detect them.
Very true. Overseer on the way, which will probably trigger the Zerg to come back in here once again and attack.
And Parting moving out. He has quite a few DTs in this army now, so Fungal's going to become more and more important. Notice he sends one at a time, but an Overseer is on the way to help deal with that. Another one coming in.
He's got to spread these DTs out perfectly. He gets one, Fungal up.
Oh, a beautiful Fungal, and a lot of damage being dealt here. And we do have a Time Warp. It's not doing that much, but these Immortals being targeted on the Ultras as quickly as possible. Being taken out oh so quickly. And GG!
A seesaw game that ultimately went to Life.
Wow.
Damn.
I tell you, what an intense game from the get-go here, Tasteless.
He's so good. All right, so
they're both so good. I'm getting chills.
Let's recap that game. He actually got that pylon up there, parting to deny that the second base.
Yes.
Huge tempo advantage here for Party. Life also manages, Party, I should say, manages to scout the third, or the lack of the third base here for Life. Party's doing everything right. It was the perfect way in which Life dealt with the engagements, which is what his real strength is.
Yeah.
It allowed him to actually win there.
Yeah, the counterattacks, the forcing of the cancel, the delaying of that third base, but that was so back and forth. That was so well played by both players, and Life just knew how to finish it off. Parting could never get any additional splash damage. It was just too close a game to sneak any of that in there, and it just a beautiful, amazing game to start off the day, just as we expected.
Yeah, amazing start here. Guys, tell your friends to tune in right now. Spread the word about the GSL here. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. All right, so our next map is going to be Akalon Wastes. That's the map that Parting picks. If Parting wins on this map, that means Life picks the next map.
Yeah. Now, Akalon Wastes, a really good choice for Parting overall. It's going to be a map where the strategy we just saw from Life, the double evolution chamber Zerglings into 3-base Ultra, not nearly as good. You can turtle on 3 bases so simply here. So probably going to see a bigger type of macro game coming out.
Probably. Should be pretty drawn out, pretty dramatic. It is a one-on-one map, so there are things that can happen that can't happen on 4-player maps, 3-player maps, for instance, because you can proxy stuff. I doubt we're going to see that here, but you never know.
Yeah. All right, well.
Can Party come back, Artosis?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
he's going to take this game, in fact. I mean, this is, with how good they are against each other, I think tiny things like what's the shape of the map, things like that are going to make a big, big difference, because the strategy we just saw from Life, an amazing strategy, a really meta strategy, but not going to be as good on this map. I doubt he'll do it here.
Got to agree with you, Artosis. All right, let's get ready. We're here at the GSL Codes. I'm Tasis. With me is Artosis. We're in the round of 16, but it feels like the Final Four because these guys are just so damn good.